around to. We good? Okay, let's look at the next one. Okay. What is the outside shape?
Trapezoid.
The outside shape is a trapezoid. What's the inside shape?
Circle.
A circle. So the formula for a trapezoid is 1/2 times height times a plus b, or b1 plus b2. And a circle is pi r squared. Okay? What is my h? Very good. My h is 8. Because if my radius is 8, that means 4, that means this is 4 and this is 4. So my height is going to be 8. Yay? So my height is 8. What is my B1 and my B2?
20.
20 plus 9. What is the radius of my circle?
4.
4. So I'm going to go to my calculator, and I'm going to do the 1/2 times 8 times 20 plus 9, get that answer. And then I'm going to do pi times 4 squared, get that answer. And then I'm going to subtract, rounding that second answer to the nearest hundredth. I did something wrong. Oh, I didn't put a 0 in, hold on. 1/2 times 8 parentheses 20 plus 9. There's the first answer. And then 5 times 4 squared is the second answer. And then I'm going to round that second answer to the nearest hundredth. There's my final answer. And my units are going to be inches squared because it's area. Cool? They're not that bad. Let's skip to, that one's not bad, let's skip to this one. What do you see here? A big circle minus a little circle minus a little circle. So a big circle minus 2 little circles, right? So it's going to be a pi r squared minus a pi r squared minus a pi r squared. Cool? We've got this circle, that's that circle. Then we have this circle, then we have this circle.
So it doesn't matter how big the circles are.
We just start out with a big circle. It's like a biscuit maker. You stamp one biscuit, then you stamp another biscuit, then you stamp another biscuit, and then I want to know what I'm left with.
Yeah, but there's a big biscuit and 2 little biscuits.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't the 2 little biscuits just add up to the big biscuit? And you just do,
That's gonna be easy, right?
that, I'm confused with that. Why wouldn't it be, because the 2 little circles are the same size.
No, they're not.
No.
Okay, so we have a pi times something squared, and a pi times something squared, and a pi times something squared. Y'all with me?
Yes.
So I first need to know, what is the radius of the red circle?
6.
Y'all see this one? Do you see that the radius of the big circle
Yes.
is going to be 6? Are we good there?
Now I get it.
Okay. Now let's go to the green circle. What is the radius of the green circle?
3.
3. Now let's go to the blue circle.
Same thing.
It's going to be 3 as well. Well, I can actually type that whole thing in one sentence. Watch this. Pi 6 squared minus pi 3 squared minus pi 3 squared. Now, if you want to get the answer to the first one, minus the answer to the second one, and minus the answer to the third one, you can do that as well. I just did it all at once. And if I round that to the hundredths and put my square on it because it's area, there it is.
I got 56.
You don't have to put them parentheses.
I mean, you can, it doesn't matter.
I think
Did you do 3.14 or did you do the pie button?
The pie button, I did 113.10, take away 28 point.
Because you rounded intermediately, that's why we're a little bit off,
Okay.
but it's okay.
So you just don't round?
I just didn't round. I just left it whole. All right. I threw this one in because it'll be like it is on the test. If you see this, tell me what you would say besides skip me. Go to the formula sheet. What is this screaming? King Henry or something? Something. So we are changing 15.2 yards squared. So we want those yards squareds to go away, and we want to turn it into square feet. Well, the good news, they actually gave me the something right here. We're going to put 1 beside the what? 1 beside the square yards, and we're going to put 9 beside the square feet. Am I going to multiply or am I going to divide? I am going to multiply because they're both on the top. So it's going to be 15.2 times 9. And what are the units on my answer? Feet squared. Because this cancels with this, so my answer is going to be feet squared. Yay?
yeah.
All right. Next problem. I give you a floor plan. This is what somebody's house looks like. Okay, bedroom, bathroom, kitchen, blah, blah, blah. And it says the cost to put in flooring is $2.29 a square foot if she installs it herself, $4.29 if somebody else does it for her. Determine the cost of the flooring in the living room and dining room. So, I want to put flooring in this room. So what kind of problem is this? What do I need to know about this room?
The living and dining.
The living and dining, do I need to know the perimeter, the area, the volume? What do I need to know?
You need to know the area.
I need to know the area. So, I need to know the area of that living room. So, I'm going to come down here and I need to know the area of the living room. And it's a rectangle, which means I'm going to do length times width. So, I'm going to do 25 times 22. Okay? Sharonda, what's 25 times 22?
550.
Who?
550.
550. And because that was feet times feet, that's going to be square feet. That's the area that we're trying to do. Now, if Nancy installs it herself, how much is it going to cost for her to install it? $2.29 for her to do it. So what do I need to do with that number? So for every foot,
You multiply.
we're going to multiply that by 229.
Yeah.
So 550 times 229. 10, what'd you say? 1259.5. So if she puts it in the room herself, it's going to cost $1,259.50. Now, if she has somebody else do it, it's going to still be 550 square feet, but it's going to cost $4.29. $2,359.50. So it's gonna cost double if you pay somebody else to do it. We good? Yay?
Yeah.
Alright, let me see. I'm gonna come back to those in just a second. I wanna do three-dimensional now. Let me show you formulas for three-dimensional. We've done two-dimensional, now I wanna make sure you know how to do three-dimensional. This is the last section. Let's do,
I'm still on 9 too, right?
this is, no, we just did 9-3, we now in 9-4, boo-boo.
Oh,
There's,
Three-dimensional, just need to follow the line.
this is volume, you are correct.
so 9-3 was what now?
The area,
Okay.
let's do this one.
And 9-4 is volume.
9-4 is volume. Alright, now, same kind of thing, y'all, it's just different formulas. You're just plugging and chugging into the formulas. This first one is called a rectangular solid. It's a box, it's a cube. It's length times width times height. So how long it is, how wide it is, how tall it is. The next one is called a cylinder. The formula says pi r squared h. Well, we've already talked about what r is. R is halfway through the circle, so that's your r. And your h is how tall it is. The next one is a sphere. A sphere is a ball. The formula is 4/3 pi r cubed. And we've already talked about what r is. R is halfway through the ball. And then our last one is a cone. The formula is 1/3 pi r squared h. R is halfway through the circle, and h is how tall it is. So it's already letters that we've already dealt with. I'm just giving you a new formula. Okay? Already stuff that we've already talked about.
So Ms. Gordon, do we have to worry about that SA?
We're not going to talk about the SA right now. We're just talking about the volume.
Okay.
The volume is all we're talking about right now. The volumes. So we're going to go through and we're going to talk about each of these volume formulas.
How many pages of this we have?
Huh?
How many pages of this we have?
3, but they'll go super, super fast because they're really just like area. Okay, so for these first 3, volume equals length times width times height. It doesn't matter which one you call length, width, and height. So it's going to be 25 times 8 times 6,
1,000.
and 13 times 13 times 13. What's the first one?
1,200.
Now, when you're doing volume, your units are going to be to the third. Area was to the second, volume is to the third. What's the next one? 13 times 13 times 13?
2,197.
And that's going to be to the third. Feet times feet times feet would be feet to the third. And remember, all these notes, y'all, are going to be out there. The videos are going to be out there, so you can use all of this to help you on your take-home test. You can Google, and your test is the same as the test for everybody else in this room. So you can use each other. Your number 1 is the same as everybody else's number 1.
I want to call you.
Okay? So before you leave class, you may want to compare, just saying. Alright,
I'm calling you. Don't.
now, let's look at,
I'll give you a name.
alright, here's the formula for this one. The formula is V equals pi r squared h.
What do we find out? The volume?
So pi times, what is my r?
9.
Oh, six.
My R is halfway through the circle, so my R is 6. What is my H? 24. So I go to my calculator, I use that pi button. So it's going to be pi times 6 squared times H, which is 24. And then whatever they tell me to round it to, the tenths, the hundredths, the whatevers, and my units are going to be to the third, because I'm doing volume. 2714.34 inches to the third, because I'm doing volume.
Okay, and wait, never mind, just follow it for me.
You good? Pi r squared h, that's the formula for a cylinder.
Pi R A.
R to the second h. Pi r to the second h. Now we're going to get the cone formula, and this is on the formula sheet, I'm just copying it. It's 1/3 times pi r squared h. 1/3 times pi r squared h. Now, for this one, you have 1/3 times pi. What is my r?
24. So 10.
10 goes all the way
It's a
across.
angle that is
So
5.
5 is going to be my radius. And what is my height going to be? 24. So when I type it in, it's going to be 1/3 wrapped up times my pi times my 5 squared times my 24. 628.32 or whatever they tell me to round it to. And on your test, all the answers are going to be rounded to the same thing. 628.32 feet to the third, because you're doing volume. It's to the third. All right. The next one is a sphere. The formula for a sphere is 4/3 pi r cubed. 4/3 pi r to the third. So 4/3 times pi, what is my radius?
3.45. Because it's heavy at 7.
7 is only going from here to here.
So it's 14. So you got
So 7 is my radius. They only gave me halfway. So it's going to be 7 is my radius. Had they told me that 7 was all the way across, then I would have taken half. But 7 is my radius. So it's going to be 4/3 times pi times 7 to the third. This one's not to the second. This is to the third. So my answer is going to be 1436.76. 1436.76 miles cubed, because it's volume. We good? Yay?
Yes, solid means the whole thing.
Yeah. Solid means it's three-dimensional. Yeah, 3D, it's volume. Now, this is doing, let's see, I got this on my formula sheet as well.
So what your answer was 1436.76?
Yeah. Let me show you these bottom ones first. Did I put a pyramid on the,
No.
was there any pyramids on the test?
I don't think.
I don't think there's any pyramids on the test. Let me show you the next one. All right, look at this one. This is just like what we did with area. Don't freak out on me. What is your outside shape and what is your inside shape? A cube and a sphere, which is a ball. The formula for a cube is length times width times height. The formula for a sphere is 4/3 pi r cubed. What is the length, width, and height of my cube? Times? Times? Okay. Then I'm gonna do 4/3 times pi times, what is the radius of the ball?
3.
3. I hadn't caught y'all on that yet. I tried hard too. I'm gonna type the whole thing in. I'm gonna do 6 times 6 times 6 minus 4/3 wrapped up times pi times 3 to the third. I'm just gonna type it all in at once. And then we can round it at the end. 102.90 millimeters cubed. So we do the same thing as what we did at the, as the area.
Was the first 4/3 pi r, we got squared.
That one's a cubed.
Okay, I was just making
Yeah.
sure so I don't get confused.
Yeah.
So this one and the one that you did before, whatever I round before, just round after.
Just round after you get done with everything. Yep. All right. That one's a, let's see, these are all things that we've done. Let's do, that one's really, everything we've done. Let me look at the test and see if there's anything that I haven't done.
They got this fraction on there.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yes. Cost the insurance
Yes.
has a fraction thing.
They got two fractions. The one with the complement and the other one with the three fractions and the cost.
Hold on, let me go in there and see if there's. Let's see, take home, edit. Cancel, leave, let me go into mine and get rid of mine, and then I can look at it again. Come on. Manage, James Cooper. Delete, and, take a test. I'm going into mine now, I deleted so that I can start over. Alright, we've done that. That's a King Henry, that's a something. We've done intersections. We've done perimeter, add up the sides. We've done that.
Yeah.
That's the one we're talking about.
Yeah, that's one.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you do,
You can blow it up,
y'all killing me.
cause I don't have my other glasses.
Yeah, I wanna do it too, yeah. Okay.
See, that's the one I
Hold
couldn't
on,
get.
hold on.
Cause you gotta check.
Okay, if it's an aquarium, what kind of shape is it?
It's
It's a
Rectangle.
It's a rectangle, which means we're gonna do length times width times height. So we're gonna do 4 3/4 times 7 1/2 times 3 2/3.
How much will it cost to fill?
So, when we go to our calculator, this is helping you get ready for the final. This is stuff we did in the beginning. 4 3/4 wrapped up times 7 1/2 wrapped up times 3 2/3 wrapped up. That gives you the volume.
What does that say? Do you round?
Now, that's the volume. Do I want to know the volume?
No.
That tells me the cubic inches of the volume. I don't want to know the volume. What do I want to know?
the cost.
The cost. So what do I have to do to that answer?
Subtract, divide that.
Times it.
Time.
Divided by that.
I mean, 4 6.
Listen to Sharonda.
Take the answer and you multiply it.
There you go.
Take the answer and divide by.
Listen to Sharonda.
Okay.
Take the
Listen to
130
Sharonda.
The 130 point, whatever that was, then multiply it by 470.
There you go.
Okay, take the answer and divide it by.
Listen to Sharonda.
Take 130, divide it by both.
Now, listen to Sharonda. Say it again, Sharonda.
It was 130 point something, I ain't get the last few numbers, and then you multiply it by 4, .70.
Did you hear the word in the middle?
Yes.
Thank you, I'm moving on. Arrange in list to order, huh?
That's on the test?
I got, this is a test pulled up, Goober.
Oh, what number was that?
That was number 5. Number 6, you gotta change them all into the same units. I've done that one. Smallest to largest, make sure they're smallest to largest. Marcia, this one just says find the area. Find the area, so you don't do circumference, you just do the area. Millimeter to centimeter, that one's going to be, King Henry. This is what kind? Trapezoid, because you got 2 sets of parallel and 2 sets of nothing else. The width of a living room, you got to tell me how big that is. Liters to gallons, that's screaming something, something to me. Pounds, we did one almost identical to that one. You got to change his weight from pounds to kilograms. We did one identical to that one. You need to go back and look at the video. Complement means they have to add up to 90 degrees. This one, they are complementary, which means they're 90 degrees. You're going to call angle 2 x. So angle 1 is going to be 5x. This is like what we did today. The 22 is going to be in here. The 119 is going to be in here, and they're going to add up to be 180. Y'all, I'm never going to give you not enough information to solve. That's not going to be an answer. This one, you're going to use the F equals formula. The F equals formula. A dodecagon, this is the one we did today. N minus 2 times 180. At the beginning of class, we did that one. These two have to add up to 180 degrees. Union, we did a union. Miles and kilometers, that's a something something. This is what we did today. We did 75 over 25 equals x over 7, the similar triangles. This is the volume formula. We just did that one. Find the area. This is 1/2 base times height. They threw in a slanted line to see if it would help you. This one is just the circumference. Inches, this is one that Miss Marcia was worried about. There is not an inches in meters. There is an inches in centimeters. So you're going to have to change inches to centimeters, and then you're going to have to King Henry it. So this is a something something and a King Henry. Inches to centimeters, and then centimeters to meters. This is Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. This one is a volume formula. This one is base times height.
And with the Pythagorean theorem one, the bottom one's A, right?
It doesn't, all you have to worry about is C. C is across from the right angle. This is milliliters and liters. That's a King Henry. And notice that you are finding out how many are in 1 hour. They want to know how many are in 48 hours. So once you get your answer here, you've got to multiply it by 48. You use the C equals formula. This is find the volume. And hey, notice, if it doesn't tell you to use the pi button and it tells you to use 3.14, you use 3.14.
Oh, yeah, they got that one there.
Milliliters to liters, that's King Henry. And liters to gallons, that's something something. This is on the video, so if you need to go back and review what I just said, it is on the video. Get each other's names, phone numbers, everybody's test is exactly the same. Hint, hint, hint. The test is due Sunday night, your homework is due Monday night. We are going to review for the exam on Monday. Next week is it. That's it. Alright, I am done. I'm 1 minute over. I will post the videos and the notes this afternoon.